Hello friends, family, and other creatures of the sea, and welcome back to another game of StarCraft 2 action. Today in the top right, spawning as the red Terran player, playing for Dragon Phoenix Gaming. It is Cure. And in the bottom left, also playing for Dragon Phoenix Gaming, it's Dark. And what a banger of a show we're gonna be having today. So we have Cure over here, Tropical Sacrifice starting in the top right position. Our beautiful Terran player. Just, ooh, look at the SEV. You got caught by the side of the depot. Did you see that? I can only pan in one direction. I'm not quite sure why that is. Something wrong with my keyboard maybe. Wish I could go to the other side as well. It is what it is. The SEV got caught there, delaying that barracks a little bit. That happens to the best. It's really annoying. Of course, Terran can't control that either. Otherwise, they would always pop on the right side, so they can immediately start that barracks when they want to. Now, we have these SEVs being pulled into the gas. We're most likely going to see a Reaper at the same time. Look at that. Dark with a pull first. Dark is one of these players that prefers aggression above all else. Strategy, mechanics, these things are secondary to being very aggressive. And he's the type of guy in a football match that would scream very loud, do a decent amount of running, but the technique might be lacking a little bit. And that's completely fine. Because you're playing at an amateur level in football most of the time. The opponents are going to be very afraid of some rather big guy just screaming a bunch. That is kind of what Dark does in StarCraft 2, except he does it at a very high level. Just screams in your face, starts throwing grass at you, and he kind of hopes that you fall over. And if he doesn't, he'll actually start playing football. Because he's really darn good at playing football as well, or in this case StarCraft 2. It's a fantastic player, but usually very aggressive, extremely aggressive. We see that here with an opener with 6 links moving out across the map. This Reaper, is going to try and go towards the middle. It's going to miss these 6 links, just by a hair. Not even if you missed them just by a hair, you did miss them. Roach Warren is going to finish up, and by the time this Reaper makes its way across the map, the 6 links are going to arrive. It is a double marine opener, so that is at least a little bit of help here for Cure. It means that he will be capable of having slightly more damage output. This Reaper still on the other side of the map. Cure not quite sure what to do with that. Might actually just want to keep it there, so he can get some scouting information, and that's exactly what's happening right now. Is going to see these roaches, and that will allow him to get a bunker, I want to say on the low ground, but potentially on the high ground, depending on what he feels like is the correct response. I really would not mind a low ground bunker, but that is not what our good friend Cure is doing right now. It's gonna get a tech lab on the factory immediately as well. Triple Marines are out. We could see more Marines being produced as this Reaper was trying to delay the move out. Didn't do a great job, of course. The Reaper doesn't have too many tools to delay a move out. Can throw a grenade here and there, but that is pretty much it. Now, this SCV is going to get taken out. It's 25 SCVs for Cure against the only 19 drones of Dark. So this time the loud screaming and the throwing of grass did not quite succeed. The drone's gonna get taken out by this Reaper as well. As Dark moves in, 2 Roaches and a Ravager knocking on the door. But unlike Santa, you don't let these guys in. Very painful start here for... Very painful start here for Dark, who might actually end up losing another drone. No, is forced to take an extractor again, though. Yeah, it's not a dream start. Absolutely not a dream start. A little bit of a supply block right now, though, for Cure, who forgot to build another depot. It happens to the best, of course. Ooh, Overlord's gonna get picked off. That means that high ground vision will be removed. And without high ground vision, no biles, no roaches moving up this ramp. And this Cyclone, from on top of the ramp, can actually deal some damage. There we go. He's going to try and lock on one of these roaches. Command center obviously providing a lot of vision. Reaper still alive, by the way, is rather helpful. 4 Overlords being built at the same time here. Ooh. 5 Overlords being built at the same time. So Dark is more than doubling his Overlord count in a couple of seconds from now. This extractor, I'm not sure if this is finished on purpose. I don't think it was, because I don't actually think that Dark wants to be mining double gas at this point. He's also forgetting to inject in the main base. Getting 2 more Ravagers right now. No mining from the natural gas still. Uh-oh. I think that Cure might have landed a little bit too quick here. Probably believed that this push was over. To be fair, I also believed this push was over. Dark probably also thought that this push was over. And then he started screaming, putting his hands in the air again, and here we are. 5 minutes into the game with, well, honestly, not that much. 4 Ravagers, 5th one on the way, 37 drones. 2 SCVs will end up falling. The first Banshee pops out right now. This CC is getting pretty close to actually burning down. So the first Banshee now is out, and it will force these Ravagers back for sure, finally. A little bit of a pause here. Secure probably was complaining about a bit of lag there. Okay, so the second gas is mining now. The third base is on the way. And these Ravagers go home. It feels like the only real defense right now that Dark has is hoping that Cure falls asleep near his keyboard and lands a couple of biles on these Banshees, because the queen count is pathetic. This third base can't be held, can it? Imagine a Cyclone and 2 Banshees show up over here. Yeah. Or just an army like this. 8 Marines and a Banshee or 2. There's no creep leading up to this base. There's not going to be a Spore. I guess there's going to be an Overseer in about 30 seconds from now. Or an Overseer will start in 30 seconds from now. Cure is too afraid to move out though. The intimidation tactics by Dark working out once again. Cure just doesn't want to move out with his Banshees. This is the defensive play. Oi, 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 oi. Dark's reputation really helping him here. I think against any other player you send these Banshees across the map. This Overlord is gonna get spotted. The last time Dark built a couple of Overlords, he built 5 at a time. Let's see how many he'll decide to build this time around. As these Banshees are moving in, we'll take out, well, both of these Queens actually. Yep, these are 2 dead Queens. That means we'll only have 3 Queens remaining. 1 more is halfway done. Marines are going to drop here, actually trying to gun down that Overseer. Could potentially get it. Well, force a cancel at least on that. That means we won't... Oh. Baal's not quite going to connect. Another Queen just went down here. That's another Queen that's gonna fall, isn't it? I think he can kill that. I really do believe he can kill that. Baal's not quite going to connect here. 1 Ravager will get taken out as the Marines will rotate in towards the main base. And in the main base there's nothing in position. This is a wild game. 62 workers right now for Dark, who is getting more and more Queens. One of the Banshees in a little bit of trouble perhaps. These Ravagers all are in trouble, not just perhaps. Ooh. No. None of these Baals are going to hit, and the Banshee manages to move away. 2 kills on this Banshee, 4 kills on the other. But I think out of these 6 kills, at least 3 of them were Queens. Yeah. 2 of them probably were Ravagers as well, so... Despite the kill count being low, they were very valuable kills. Like, obviously, getting 10 drones is nice, but killing 2 Ravagers and 3 Queens, I think I'd prefer that most days of the week. Except on Sundays. Then I prefer the drones. Evo chambers coming down. Infestation pit. Nasty building. Will allow for the hive. Infestation pit could be for lurkers. Could also be for infestors. It's actually a possibility I hadn't really considered yet. One of these Ravagers is going to not die. Just like the other 2 Ravagers. So that Ravager wasn't all that special as I thought it was going to be. Glad I singled it out though. He was closer to dying than the other, so I stand by my decision. This drop in the main base is going to take out an Extractor. We'll clear this Spore as well. That means that Banshees could potentially come back in here later on to try and deal some damage. Queen count is at 8 though, so Banshee's not going to be as great as they usually would be. Or as they were earlier, I guess. This is a ragtag group of units here. 2 Hellions, a Reaper, a Cyclone, 5 Marines and a Medevac. I wonder who gets priority in the Medevac here. It's like a musical chair situation. Except the decision will be made based on whose life is most valuable. It's not the type of musical chairs that I would want to play as a StarCraft 2 professional player. I have a feeling I would be left behind. There's an engineer. There's an engineer, a doctor next to me. Maybe I'm lucky if I'm stuck in a space with like 3 or 4 lawyers, a doctor and an engineer, and there's 3 spots in the Medevac. I might make it out. But otherwise I think I'd be in a little bit of trouble. 5 Marines here. 2 Banshees will start attacking this pool. Might actually get it as well. Kinda useless. I don't think that Dark was actually planning on building a single Ling this entire game, except for the first 6 that he built. It's always an odd game when there's more Queens than there's Lings built in a game. Doesn't happen a whole lot, but it's probably going to be happening this time around. Tunneling Claws on the way as well as Burrow. Cure is ahead right now. He has a fort base being built on position. Should turn into an orbital command as well. We'll discuss why that is a little bit later. As right now we have a big push coming in. 1-1 upgrades. Are there infestors out yet? No, there are not. There's only 2 Ravagers as well at the same time. Uh-oh, that's a lot of these Roaches are going to end up losing Dark. Dark in a world of trouble as Cure continues pushing forward. Creep is being denied. And this might actually just be it. Fixed him. Ooh, is it though? Is it it? This isn't it. Tanks are going to get taken out and Dark just kind of crushes this army, huh? Holy crap. That's not really crushing. Oh, do you see that? I saw it happen. Tunneling Claws just finished up, and it means that these little thorns coming out of the back of the Roaches, they turn proper fluorescent. They fluorize, real nice. That's basically how you can see that there's Tunneling Claws. I'm not quite sure if Cure realized though, because he's not getting any turrets whatsoever. Terrans often aren't that great at spotting this type of stuff for some reason. I guess because they never really play against the Burrowed Roaches. But yeah, this really should deal no damage whatsoever. If you don't realize it, this actually could deal a lot of damage. It's difficult to deal with if you're not ready for it. It really is. If you don't have anything in position, it can be hard. One Infestor gets sniped, second Infestor is going to get sniped as well. This is a bad flank coming out of Dark, honestly. These 3 Roaches are still idling over here at the base. Could potentially go in somewhere. It's 3 base against 4 base. And that's in favor of the Terran player. That's a situation you never want to be in as a Zerg. So now F2ing these Roaches back home as well. I still believe there's an opportunity for these Roaches to... Absolutely, for them to do something. Might want to send a couple more Roaches out even. Oh, these get burrowed. Not sure if Cure even realized that something happened here. I don't think he did. He was like, oh, I'm being attacked. Maybe a Ling run by or something. Don't think he saw them burrow again. Now they're going to be unburrowed, and they're actually going to get a couple of worker kills. Infestors are under the ground as well, waiting for an opportunity not to neural, but to fungal. Neural Parasite not done yet. I mean, if they could neural, that would be brilliant, but they can't. Got a couple of preemptive scans here, as these infestors, they make their way around the map, looking for an opportunity. But that opportunity never arrives. Roach is still alive, 2 Marines on the right side taking out an Overseer. Overlord will get kicked over there as well, on the top side, so... 4th and 5th being taken at the same time. The 3 Roaches will get absolutely butchered by the tank over there, as this defensive position also doesn't seem all that solid anymore. A couple of fungals might hit, but the medevac count is large. It's large enough at this point that a single fungal isn't going to kill this. You're going to need more than 1 fungal. There's also a pretty big Marauder force over here, which is interesting to see. The problem with these Marauders is that you can't really put a fungal on them. It feels like a waste. But you're also not really killing them with your Ravager and Roach shots, because there's just too much healing going on. Every Marauder has its personal medevac, basically. We have a drop towards the right side as the 6 o'clock is going to get taken out. And Dark is... well, he's pretty boned right now. Absolutely blasted this game. Ravagers will fall against the concussive shells as we see Cure moving in right now. Are there still infestors alive? Yep, there are 5 even. I guess that is an opportunity. Now that Neural has finished up. Where are these infestors though? Okay, 3 on the bottom. All 5 on the bottom. Okay, I didn't quite expect that. 5th base is going to get cancelled. 4th base for Dark semi stays alive. I guess Dark could attack into this now. Could get like 2 neural parasites on these tanks. This is a very low eco game. And the problem with low eco games is that Zerg doesn't really do well with low eco. They need high eco. Okay, let's see if Cure's paying attention to his main army right now. With these infestors that are coming from the back. We know that. Cure doesn't, of course. You know, Cure's gonna look over to his army, maybe? No? Maybe no. Oh, what's happening here? Oh, couple of ghosts showing up. We'll take out 2 of these infestors. Upgrade complete. Tanks are not going to get grabbed here. No, it was for the ghost instead. Ghosts are rather low energy because of that. It's a good awareness out of Dark. Still should have some... Oh, there we go! Tanks are going to get taken out, but there's still, honestly... Well, there's not that much, but it seems like it's still enough anyway. Ravagers will get blasted, tanks in the back still dealing a lot of damage, and I do believe that this is pretty much game over. Cure still has a massive bank, he has a huge army on the right side. The medevac count has pretty much disappeared, but and even with low HP, this army can just stim and A-click and pretty much win the game. It's 3-3 upgrades as well against 2-1. Carapace upgrades are so far behind. You never want to be in a situation where the Terran is up 2 upgrades against your Carapace upgrades. Look at that. These Roaches are absolutely melting like butter on top of a hot stove. Ay, 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 ay. That is just painful. That is absolutely just painful. Roaches get taken out, GG gets called. Cure wins the game. A little bit of a one-sided game, but interesting to see. Anyway, I always like watching people finish Dark after he is slightly over-aggressive in the early game. And he gets blasted by his own aggression later on. Fantastic little play out of Cure. And that's going to be it for me today. Thanks all so much for watching. I hope you did enjoy this game. If you did, don't forget to like, subscribe to the channel. And see you all next time for a new video. Bye-bye.